Okay, so overnight the text block really set hard. It's now looking very robust and really quite strong. You know, this is not going anywhere. The pages are all very firmly bound in, so this is in good shape for reattachment. These are the boards. These have turned out really well as well. So what I did was I used some snippets of this leather to rebuild the corners, as you can see here. What I did, which is a little sort of trick I sometimes do, is this is boot polish, Meltonian boot polish. And if you have the brown and the black, you can actually mix that to get a shade, and it's actually quite good with your fingers just to work your way along, and where you get basically a lighter color where maybe the leather's been cut or abraded, you can actually just tone it down and, you know, make it look darker and more matching of everything else. So I just did that gently here and there as well, just along these edges here. So the result is these boards, which are looking pretty good now. So this has turned out reasonably well. The question then becomes how to reattach. So I should explain that ordinarily when I do the restorations, I'm not too bothered about the raised bands actually showing through the side a little bit. So for example, this is this tome is like a 1539 German book, translation of Flavius Josephus. You know, and when I actually restored this, as you can see, I've got these crow's foot just coming through here, where literally this twine just needed to be sort of spread out and put back into the boards. And you know, that's for a big book like this, that's totally fine. Even my 1620 King James Bible did the same thing here. I mean, you know, it's obviously a very massive book, you know. So, but I think the problem with attempting that with this is I want to try and preserve as much of this original leather as possible. And this leather is both quite thick and quite fragile, and I can't get it directly wet. So it's going to be quite difficult to sort of mold this. If you imagine, you know, eventually we're going to have this leather sort of sitting underneath it. It's going to be quite difficult to actually get this to mold over any bumps without it just splitting and degrading. So that limits the way in which I can do the reattachment. So I think what I'm going to do is there's this thing which I guess I've never actually used for any purpose until now. So, but it's very good for sort of punching holes. So what I'm going to do is go underneath one at a time. Obviously I've got this sort of vellum layer here, the leather here. I'll be able to basically go underneath and make one hole. So I'm going to do that in 3 places. And what I'm then going to do is I'll feed this through the hole, but what I want to do is to unravel it. Once I do that, I'm going to unravel it so I get it down to 3 bands. That's flatter than an entire cord like this. So that'll be flatter. So that's it'll be 3 bands coming up into the board. And then what I'm going to do is really flatten it out until to the individual fibers, and it'll be those fibers that then get spread out and laid flat underneath, and that way this will lay as flat as possible. Obviously the leather will be on top of that as well, but it'll ultimately be as flat as I can get it, and hopefully therefore this section of leather will be preserved, because I've got very little room to play with. That's only 1.5 inches from the edge here to this, and obviously I don't want to in any way disrupt this. So let's give it a go.